Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Angela Brennan and today I'm making Christmas cards. It's for the Christmas Craft Creations Challenge that I take part in monthly. This February 2023, the theme is pink. I start off with a cross stitch. So this is the Pegboard canvas die that I use, and it's a cross stitch that I did following a pattern that I had, and I used it to make a bauble. So it's a cross stitch of a bauble that's pink, and it's got the word joy on it. I will link in the description below how I do cross stitches like of this sort for this kind of dies, this die size, because if not it'll make the video too long. So head over there to check out how I put together the cross stitch. But what I do here is I am converting this card panel that's been stitched on into a card, and for the card front, to ensure that all that wonderful thread work is not snagged or doesn't collect dust or get dirty, I put an acetate on it, almost like a frame, so you can preserve the card for a long time, or indeed you can even just cut that bit out and use it as a bookmark, as some people I know have done. So it's something that you can keep for a little while. I like joining this challenge because I get to make a Christmas card or Christmas cards every month. That way I'm making unique Christmas cards, and when by the time I get to December, I'll have all my cards ready. I mean, you could mass produce them, which is a thing I kind of do a lot in December or November. I mass produce them, but they all end up being very similar or the same card. So this way I can follow the themes and make different cards. And come December, it'll be fun to see all the cards I've made all through the year. So for this theme this month in February, it's a pink theme, and I've got 3 nieces, which is why I've made 3 cards. I think it's just nice, and as I make the cards, I kind of think of who I'm going to give them to. So it's kind of almost custom-made cards in my mind for Christmas when it comes along. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And when you do subscribe, do remember to press the notification bell so you're alerted when a new video is uploaded. Do head over to my blog, and the link to my blog is in the description below, where you can see all the details that I've used in the cards, as well as steps to make the cards. And I will also put links to videos where you can see how to make that cross stitch, or it won't be the exact cross stitch, but the concept and principles are the same. You just need to find the pattern, and there's loads of patterns, cross stitch patterns, free cross stitch patterns that you can get on Pinterest, etc. I'm not going to share, or I can't share, the pattern that I used to make this bauble because it's not mine, and I didn't think it would be fair to do that. I'm going to leave you with some music, and I'll catch you later. For the next 2 cards, I use stencils and do some foiling without any heat. I use the Transfer Gel Duo. These are old stencils that I've had for a little while now. And I use the Wendy Wacky Make Art Station. I tend to use this when I do stenciling because I find it so much easier. The 4 magnets are strong, and they keep the paper and the card and the paper in place to allow me to do the stenciling. And as with all stenciling, having the right tools is important. So this stencil here, it calls for the small blending tool as well as the mini blending tool to put some darker shades in the middle of the snowflakes with my mini blending tool. I really like stenciling. I've got a longer video on stenciling which shows many other techniques, and I'll link that in the description below as well in case you like stenciling as well. So these cards here, for the first set, I used the baby pink, fuchsia, and magenta inks. And I just think it's a very simple card. I don't do a lot to it because the colors are so pretty, and the layering stencil allows, does everything, so it's quite easy to do. And for the final stencil, I use the Deco Foil Transfer Gel Duo. Ever since I got this, I can't stop using it. So I use a palette knife and I put a very thin layer. I think putting a thin layer helps because that means it'll dry faster. And this is, you can't speed up. Well, I have not tried speeding up the drying process. So I put a thin layer and let it dry. I let it air dry. And when it dries, it goes all clear. And when that happens, you know it's ready for the next step, which is foiling. Because when you put it on, it's white, so it's white paste. And then when it dries, it's ready for the next step. And that process is about putting pressure to get the foil onto it. The previous card I used a Nina Solar White, and for this one I'm going to use my Strathmore Bristol Smooth card. I tend to use this for ink blending, and I think when stenciling with ink it's also perfect. So I cut it down and I use this for my next stencil, which is the Gina K Design Perfect Poinsettia, which is a layered stencil, and the good thing about it is the stencils are very clearly labeled, so you know which ones to do first. And for this I use the Altenew Cherry Blossom Crisp Dye Ink Set.